Hi, my name is Justin with Worley Catastrophe Response, and today I'm going to show you the proper way to document a claim with photos. Photos are an extremely important part of the claims process. They show us not only what is damaged in relation to a loss, but also what's not damaged. There are also certain specific things that we need photos of that you might not typically think of. So the pictures you're about to see are ones that I took while I was out on an inspection with another adjuster. And I'm just going to kind of dictate and go along through the pictures and explain what we're seeing and kind of why we need those photos. So the first shot that I want with any claim, the very first shot in the file should be the overview of the risk. That's just a front elevation shot followed up by the verification of the risk, which is a shot of the house number to make sure we're inspecting the correct property. Next, I'm going to go and get all my different elevations, starting with right, then rear elevation. And if it's hard to get a good shot of the rear or a particular elevation, I'll get it from another side. And then, of course, the other final elevation, the left side. So once we get on the roof, the first shot I'm going to take is of the shingle gauge, showing the type of shingle that we're dealing with. The second shot is going to be the pitch gauge. And the third shot is going to be showing how many layers we have and whether or not there's drip edge. Once I get these three shots, I can hop up on the roof and start taking my overview shots. Now, I usually try to get at least 6 to 8 overview shots showing all of the particular items, any flashings, any vents that's on the roof. So if I forget to take a picture of a particular item, or say I pay for, detaching and resetting a satellite dish, I'm going to have that in a photo to prove to those reviewers that it actually exists. We have to take photos of every single thing that we pay for, otherwise we can't pay for it. So again, I'm just going to get some good overview shots showing what is present on the roof. And once I get those overview shots, I'm going to start looking for the damage. So after I get my overview shots, I'm going to start looking for damage on the roof. I'm going to walk all of the slopes and mark all of the visible damage with chalk. After I get a particular slope done, I'm going to write how many damaged shingles were on that slope. You'll see that said R equals 0, so no damage to the right slope. And then I'm going to take some overview shots showing that there wasn't any damage to the right slope. Next, I'll go to the left slope. You'll see an overview shot there. Left equals 40 damaged shingles. And then I'm going to take some photos of that damage. I'm going to try to get some close-up shots showing creased shingles, and then some overview shots showing the extent of the actual damage. Anything that might have been an issue, like a leaking skylight, I'm going to take a photo to see if there was any damage there. And again, just take some good overview shots of the damage. And this is something that I do in particular. I write all of the components on each slope. That way I make sure to count everything while I'm up there and I don't forget anything once I get off. Then, of course, what I do is I show photos that support whatever decision I come to. If the shingle is brittle or it's in really poor condition, I'm going to grab some photos that support that and show that and document it. I'm also going to document any photos to neighboring houses that support the story that I'm telling. Again, we're telling a story here, and the fact that every house in the neighborhood was damaged just goes to support that story. Once I get off the roof, I'm going to do my exterior inspection. I'm going to hop down, look at and photograph every elevation of the home. I'm going to point out anything that's damaged, but I'm also, like I said before, I'm documenting things that aren't damaged. So if there's another claim in 2 years, we can look back and see if the damage was new or if it was existing damage. With fences in Florida, we need to make sure that we take really good photos of whether or not those fences are connected to the house, because most policies will allow coverage if they are connected to the house and will not allow coverage for fencing if it's not connected. So these are a couple shots from a different house that kind of show the type of photos that we're looking for. We want to see that it's directly connected to that dwelling. In this case, the fence isn't connected, so it's not damaged, but if it was damaged, it wouldn't be covered due to that exclusion for fencing in hurricanes. So, again, we're just going to document what's there. And here's the rest of the right elevation. And, to document this, I would probably just say right elevation, no damage noted. Then, of course, we just work our way around the house. This is the rear elevation. You can see that the rear screen door was damaged. The insured actually told us that this was not damaged due to the storm, that it was damaged actually by a bear that lives in the woods behind the house that was trying to get some cat food. But again, we're just documenting what's there and what's not there. Again, we've got a little small fence on the left elevation. We're going to show that it's not connected to the house. And then we're just going to show that there was no debris that hit the siding there. Next, if there's interior damage, we want to go inside. And the first thing we're going to do is take some good overview shots of the room. And then we're going to take close-up shots of where that damage occurred. This particular damage was from water that ran down from the roof into a light socket there. So we're going to take a good close-up photo. And they also had damage from a roof leak that damaged the ceiling and some walls in the garage. Again, we're just going to take some good overview photos, a good close-up of the damage, and if possible, try to access the attic and try to determine exactly where that water came from, or if there's any supporting documentation from the attic that's, that we can add, that would be great. And the last thing you want is your scope notes, just showing all the measurements. So that's how we properly document a claim with photos. If you want to see how this particular photo report would look, just click in the description box. I've got a link to a Dropbox that'll show you the actual photo report that I wrote with these photos. And if you want to see how the estimate would look, go ahead and there's another link in the description box as well. If you have any questions, please let us know.